Hello and welcome to Level 1A workout. Today's focus is stability focus. We'll be doing an all over body workout, but we're going to be honing in on stability. So stability of the pelvis in Pilates is keeping the pelvis very still whilst we move the limbs, so our legs. And then shoulder stability is keeping your shoulder blades, your collarbones as still as possible while we move the arms. Okay, so keeping the shoulders stable, the pelvis stable whilst we move the limbs means that we're creating strength and stability around the shoulders and the pelvis. So we're going to start perched right at the front of your bed. Okay, so your pelvis is right at the edge here on the carriage but slightly forward here. Feet are out wide so you feel comfortable, and then hands on the knees. We're going to start with a roll down, so drop your chin into your throat, nose to navel, sliding your hands down onto your shins or your feet or the floor. Breathe in to hold, and then breathing out to roll back up through the spine, and then float the head back up on top of the spine. 3 more of these. So we're stretching the neck, draw your chin into your throat, stretching the upper spine, drawing your nose to your navel, and then rolling all the way down. Pausing there, just go to a point that you feel comfortable, and then push into your feet to roll back up through the spine like you're imprinting your spine into the wall behind you. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. So we're using these roll downs to warm the spine up. Breathing in to hold. Breathing out to press your feet down into the floor, so you're starting to anchor through your legs to feel an equal and opposite lift up through your spine. 1 more. Chin to throat, nose to navel, sliding down. And then rolling back up through your spine. Okay, so we're doing compass, hands on the bony protrusions of your pelvis. You can either keep your feet there or draw your legs back into parallel, whatever feels good for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to roll onto the back of your pelvis. So it's like a dog tucks its tail under. We're rolling onto the back of the pelvis. So that's north, and then we're returning back to neutral. Neutral is where your pubic bone and your hip bones are on the same plane, and your sit bones, it's like you're perched up on top of your sit bones. Now we're going to go south, so you're going to overarch your lower back and tip your pelvis forward, and then return back to a neutral position. Now east, you're going to rotate your hips towards one side, one knee reaches out further than the other, and then back to neutral, so the hip bones are even. And then west, the other hip reaches out, and then return back to neutral. So we're going to go north neutral, south neutral, east neutral, west neutral 1 more time. So you're going to roll onto the back of the pelvis, tuck the pubic bone up towards your face, and then return back to neutral, propped up on your sit bones. South, overarch your back, rolling the hip bones forward, and then return back to a neutral. East, reach your right hip forward, rotating the hips to the left, and then back to neutral, so the hips are even. And then west, rotate the left hip forward, and then return back to neutral. Okay, so start lying on your back. We want to put the headrest, actually we'll keep the headrest down for spine curls. Put all the springs on so that we keep the bed in at the stopper. And then rolling onto your side, and then onto your back, aligned. So get yourself set up, and then lift your head and your chest up and look at your pubic bone. And we want to make sure that the pubic bone, navel and nose are all on one line. Okay, so some of us lie down with our hips to one side. Okay, so return to a straight line. Have your heels on the bar, sit bone width apart. Arms down by your side. We start in a neutral pelvis, so the pubic bone and hip bones are on the same flat plane, and there's a little hollow in the lower back, okay? Now at first when you're starting Pilates, that can be a really weird concept to get, okay? So just, be kind to yourself and just take your time to start to understand that. Eventually the penny will drop. It usually takes about 6 to 10 sessions for the penny to drop in regards to neutral pelvis. Okay, so neutral pelvis, pubic bone, hip bones on the same flat plane, arms down by your side. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, now you're going to tip north, so that's where the dog tucks its tail under. So you're going to lift your pubic bone up, tuck your tail under, roll all the way up to a point that you feel comfortable. So I want you to feel like you're sort of in a concave through the spine, and then roll down through the spine. Keep tucking the tailbone up towards the ceiling, and then return back to a neutral position. And again, so tuck the pelvis north, so we're lifting the pubic bone up, tucking the tailbone, and then you peel your spine up and off the carriage. Breathing at the top, pausing there, squeezing the buttocks, and then breathing out and try and imagine you're imprinting one bony protrusion at a time down into the carriage. And then return back to neutral. And again, we're doing 6 more of these. So tuck north, try and hollow your belly out rather than bulging your stomach. Now up to a point that you feel comfortable. Some of you might just lift up to there and that might be enough. Some of you might lift up higher. We don't want to use the back though. You want to keep the ribs down so you keep your core engaged. And then rolling down one vertebrae at a time. All the way down, return to neutral. And again, tucking north, out through the straw. So we breathe out through a straw, breathing into pause, breathing out through the straw to roll back down. Good, you can start to really feel this in the back of the legs. And again, tucking north, scoop the belly in. Now imagine that there's a tennis ball in between your knees, because I want you to try and keep your inside thighs engaged. And on the way down, imagine the tennis ball is still there as you roll through the spine. Okay, now if I'm going too fast, you just go at a pace that feels right for you. Tuck your tail under, lift the hips up. Our target area is the back of the legs. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, rolling down. And we're trying to articulate your spine sequentially, opening up your spine. We'll do 2 more. Tucking north, lifting the tailbone up. Imagine the tennis ball between your knees. Pausing at the top, stretching your thigh bones out of the hips. And then rolling back down through the spine. Breathe in to prepare 1 more. Breathing out through the mouth, tuck your tail under, lift the hips up, reaching the knees away from the hips, squeezing your buttocks, stretching the front of the hips, and then rolling down through the spine. Good, well done. Okay, so now we're going into curl up. So bring your legs together. Okay, put your hands behind your head. So okay, it's a little bit weird with the shoulder rest here, but the idea is that we actually start lifted, okay? So your head is in your hands, your chest is lifted, you're in a neutral pelvis, so there's a little hollow in the lower back without tensing your back muscles. You're going to breathe out to lift your chest up, breathing in to return to the start position. Okay, we're going to do 10 of these. Let's go. Breathe out to lift, in to lower. It's quite a small movement. And you want to try and use your tummy muscles to lift your head and your chest up. Now remember, our focus is stability. Keep your pelvis very still as you lift your head and your chest up. Drawing your belt in a notch. Using your tummy, not your lower back. For 5, 4. It's like we're sort of pivoting around the bra line. 3, 2, last one, 1. Well done. Put your head down. Have a little rest. 2 deep breaths. Just letting go. Okay, ready to rock and roll again. Oblique curl ups. Hands behind your head. Hello. For the rest of that workout, go to my website, which is nellh.tv. There you will find my unique systematic approach to the Pilates method. There's packages there for the Reformer, for the Wonder Chair, and also for the Cadillac. I hope you enjoy, and remember, movement is medicine.